Hello students, welcome to our new video. So as I have discussed in the previous class about the bijective function, injective function, surjective function. So today I will discuss about how to find the inverse of a function or invertible functions. Today I will teach you about inverse of a function. Now how we will determine that a function can be invertible or not? If a function is bijective, then the function is said to be invertible. That means if a function is both injective and surjective, then the function is invertible. Now for a function fx, its inverse is written as f inverse x. For fx, the domain is said to be let A and the range is B. Then in case of f inverse x, the domain and range gets reversed. Then range become the domain and domain become the range. Then this function is from B to A and this function is from A to B. Now this is the concept of invertible function. Now what will be the graph of an invertible function? Let's suppose fx equals to x, or suppose fx equals to x square. Now fx equals to x square, its graph in the first quadrant goes like this, and if we find f inverse x, then we will draw y equals to x line and its reflection is called the f inverse x. So according to this line, its reflection will be like this. So this is f inverse x in the first quadrant and this is fx in the first quadrant. This is y equals to x. Okay, now this is the concept of invertible function graph. Now I will teach you about how to find an invertible function. Now I will tell you about how to find an inverse of a function. If y equals to or fx equals to some function is given, let x square, okay, as the same function. Now how we will find the inverse of this function, that is f inverse x? Find f inverse x. Now first we have to consider fx equals to y, then y equals to x square. Now from here we have to make x as a subject. For that we can write therefore x equals to root y, then f inverse y equals to root y, and if you change y as x, then it becomes f inverse x equals to root x. This is the method to find an inverse of a function. Okay, now let's move on to the sums. Let's do some sums. Show that the function f from a to r minus 2 by 3 fx equals to 4x plus 3 by 6x minus 4 is invertible, and hence find f inverse x. Here it is written that we have to show that it is invertible. Somewhere it can be also told that to show it is bijective. You all know that if it is bijective, then it is invertible. So first let's show that it is bijective. For bijective we have to show injective and surjective. Then fx equals to 4x plus 3 by 6x minus 4. For injective, I have told in the previous lecture that for injective we have to show that if fx1 equals to fx2, then we have to show that x1 equals to x2. Then for fx1 we will take 4x1 plus 3 by 6 x1 minus 4 equals to 4x2 plus 3 by 6 x2 minus 4. Cross multiplying we get 4 6 is 24 x1 x2 plus 18 x2 minus 16 x1 minus 12 equals to 24 x1 x2 minus 16 x2 plus 18 x1 minus 12. This get cancelled, this get cancelled. And from here, if we take this to this side, we get 18x2 plus 16x2 equals to 18x1 plus 16x1. Then from here we can see x2 equals to x1. As I have shown that it is x1 equals to x2, so it is injective. Now let's show it is surjective. For surjective, I have told that you have to take y equals to 4x plus 3 by 6x minus 4. Now we have to make x as subject, then by cross multiplying 6xy minus 4y equals to 4x plus 3. Then 3 minus 4y equals to 4x minus 6xy. Then 3 minus 4y equals to, taking x common, 4 minus 6y. Then 3 minus 4y by 4 minus 6y equals to x. Now from here we can see that the range of x is r minus 2 by 3, where it is the codomain. Then we can say it is surjective. Hence the function is bijective. So the function is bijective, and I have told you earlier that if the function is bijective, it is injective. So hence we can say that the if function is bijective, it is invertible. So we can say that it is invertible function. The function is invertible. Okay, you all understood this. Now we have to find the inverse of the function. For that I have told you we have to take y equals to 4x plus 3 by 6x minus 4. Then we have to make x as a subject. We have done earlier only. Then x equals to 3 minus 4y by 4 minus 6y. Then from here f inverse x is 3 minus 4x by 4 minus 6x. Okay, replacing y with x, we get f inverse x. If it is f inverse y, then you have written this one only. Now this is the f inverse x. Okay. Now let's move to composite functions. Composite functions. Now there are 4 kinds of composite function. First one is fog, or we can also write it as f of gx. Then second one is gof. It is also written as g of fx. Third one is fof, which means f of fx. And fourth one is gog, which means g of gx. Here fx and gx are both defined functions. Okay, now let's see the mapping of this. If a function is, if this is x, and from here there is a function which is fx. Okay, now fx equals to, let fx equals to y. Then from y you have, suppose gy. Then from here to here, if we have a function, this is called a composite function. This is called composite function, which from here we can see that it is of x, because the x is going to g. This is of x. Okay. Now let's do some sums on this kind of function. Now let's take a sum. Suppose it is given fx equals to x square plus 1, and here gx is root x. First we have to find, suppose find fog x. We have already have told that fog x means f of gx, means in the function of fx, in the place of x we will put the function of gx. That is fx equals to, here we have seen x square plus 1. Now in this place of x we will put the value of gx. This will become fog x. then fog x will be, in the place of x is x, we will put root x then whole square plus 1, which means x plus 1. Fog x is x plus 1. Now let's find g of x. G of x means the function will be gx, but in place of x we will put the function fx. Okay. The gx function, let's write it. Gx function is root x. Then g of x will be under root. In the place of x we will put that one, under root x square plus 1. This will be g of x. Now the third one is, it is f of x. F of x means it will be a function of fx, but in the place of x we will again put the fx. Then we can from here see that fx equals to f of fx. F of x equals to, and fx is x square plus 1. Then what will be f of x? F of x will be, in the place of x we will again put x square plus 1. X square plus 1 whole square plus 1. By breaking it, we can write x to the power 4 plus 2x square plus 1 plus 1, which means plus 2. Okay. Now the fourth one is gog x. It means the same as f of x, but here gog means in the place of, it will be a function of gx, but in place of x we will again put gx. Now what is gx? Gx is root x. Then gog x will be, gog x equals to g of gx. Then gog x will be under root of x, because this is under root only, which we can write as under root can be also written as to the power half, which means x to the power half to the power half, then x to the power half into half, 1 by 4. This is the answer. Okay, that's all for today. So you must press the like button if you like the video, and must comment in the comment box if you have any doubts regarding these topics, and please subscribe to our channel if you like the video, and if you're new to our channel, press the bell icon and turn on the notification. Thank you.